guys, welcome back to my channel. Last week I did a reaction video to my 8-year-old Christmas story. So I thought for this week I would do a reaction video to the very first story I wrote, which is called The Silly Girl. And this is the silly girl right here. I don't know what this weird stain is. Like, there's no telling what this stain is. I spilled something on it. This thing is like really old. But I wrote this story, The Silly Girl, when I was 8 years old. And I, at the time, was really obsessed with the Brady Bunch. So that's probably why these characters are all in boxes. So I've got Kathy here. Kathy is the main character. And I've got her in a box right here. And her shirt says, my love, and it's got a heart in the middle. And then these are her parents. I wrote down April, and her dad is Patrick. Like that's important to the story, I guess, to know what their names are. So, The Silly Girl. Alright, here's the title page for The Silly Girl. Again, these characters are in boxes. I've got, oh, it says the Chris family. The Chris family. And then pictures by me, pictures by me. The Silly Girl. By the way, y'all, these little stick figures, they're really, like, hilarious. And you know what I'm noticing? Okay, the Patrick on the cover, the dad on the cover, he doesn't really look like the dad on the inside cover. Like, the dad on the inside of the cover, like, he looks like he's kind of bald. He's got, like, a little bit of hair. Here it looks like he's got, like, a little bit more hair. Yeah. At least Kathy looks, Kathy and April look about the same. Okay, so, here we go. Here is, the opening. Here's the first page of The Silly Girl. As you can see, I have illustrated this. I've got a classroom here. I've got a bunch of stick people. This is the really funny thing. If you look at this character right here, that's supposed to be me. That's me. I wrote myself into the story, like I illustrated myself in the story. This story was not based on anybody I knew. I made it up. I made up these characters, but apparently I wanted to put myself in the story, so there I am. Along with all the other characters, and apparently I also put their names on their shirts. See, there's Kathy right there. There's Kathy. And there's me. There's Mike, I guess a Kevin. Okay, anyway, let's get to the story. Okay, once upon a time, there was a man and a woman. They just wanted a child. They wanted, okay, that's supposed to be want. But apparently I put wanted. With a D. They wanted the child to be smart. A boy or a girl. One day they had a little girl. They named her Kathy. For when she was in 1st and 2nd grade, she was not that smart. She made good grades, but she was not good about the classroom. It was the first day of 1st grade. They went over the rules. Her teacher, okay, I'm laughing because I spelled teacher wrong. I spelled it with a T, T-E-A-T, teacher, teacher, the teacher. Can you see that? Her teacher was Mrs. Bridget. The other teacher, with a T, T-E-A-T, was Mrs. Pozzoli. You see, I know for sure that I wrote this in 3rd grade because I remember actually writing this in class, and I needed an idea for a name for the teacher. I didn't know what to call the teacher. And so I asked Phyllis, who was the girl who was sitting next to me, and I asked her for some ideas, and she said, name her Mrs. Pizzoli, because that was my teacher last year. Never heard of this name before in my life. So, Mrs. Pizzoli. Okay, so back to the story. One day, Kathy saw Emily and Amanda talking. Then she said, "What?" What, with an exclamation point and no quotations whatsoever. Because if you watched my video last week, you'll know that I didn't use any like quotations for the dialogue in that story either. This story is no different. So Kathy saw Emily and Amanda talking. Then she said, "What?" Exclamation point. She didn't really say it like that. She was like saying it as a question, but no question mark, you know. And then Emily said, comma, "I'm not talking to you." Then Kathy said, "Well, the rules say listen while others are talking." This story is so bad. This is so bad. But it's funny because it's bad. Yeah, I don't really, okay, let's just go on. Then it was the first day of 2nd grade, and their teacher, spelled wrong again, their teacher was Mrs. Reed, and their other teacher was Mrs. Dukin? Mrs. Dukin? I think I meant Mrs. Duncan, but I forgot the N, so it came out Ducan. Mrs. Ducan. And obviously it's important for you to know what the names of the teachers are, I guess. Like, apparently I thought that was important story, you know, just to know what the teachers are. And here's, this must be like her 2nd grade class right here. And, let's see if I'm in here again. I probably am. Well, there's Kathy right there. She's got the biggest desk, as you can see right here. She got the biggest desk. Apparently, I am not in her class. Okay, so I'm in her class here, but I'm not in her class here. That's okay. All right. All right, we're at the conclusion of the story. One day she noticed, no D at the end, no past tense. One day she noticed that she had done some silly stuff. Okay, this is really, what's really funny about the silly girl is I mean, like, you think the silly girl is about, like, some girl, like, cracking jokes or something, but I don't know, she's just weird. But one day she noticed she did some silly stuff. She told her parents. So they worked with her, and Kathy got smarter and smarter. And one day she got grown up and was a pretty woman and met a pretty boy. Okay, so now we've just completely skipped ahead. We're not in school anymore. She's grown up. She got smarter. She's not silly anymore. She got grown up, and she was a pretty woman, and she met a pretty boy. They started to like each other. They got married, and they had 2 girls and 2 boys. They named the boys one Brad, Glenn. They named the 2 girls Nancy, Susie. The end. Okay, now look on the back. Now look on the back. That is now that's Kathy's family. Like Kathy's parents, and Kathy and her parents on the cover, and then on the back. Oh look, here's Kathy, and look, this must be the pretty boy she met, Tom. And then there's Glenn, and Brad, and Susie, and Nancy. Oh my God, you guys, this story is so hilarious. This story is funny not because the character is silly. It's mostly just silly because it's so bad. It's so bad. I mean, there's incorrect punctuation, there's misspellings. The illustrations are pretty bad too. Stick people. But I'm glad I kept this story because you know what? This is the very first story that I wrote when I was 8 years old. And you know what? It's a good story, you know, for an 8-year-old. This is, I guess, it's a pretty good story. I'm really cracking up over the Brady Bunch squares right here, you know, because like I say, I was really obsessed with the Brady Bunch back then. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed my reaction video to The Silly Girl. I've got some more stories that I will react to. I thought this was pretty funny just because it was the first one, and because it's just so bad. It's good for an 8-year-old. You know what? My 8-year-old self, I'm proud of my 8-year-old self for writing this. This is actually not a bad story. For an 8-year-old, this is actually pretty good, I think. If I wrote this story today, I mean, obviously you don't really need to know who the teachers are. Why do you even need to know who Kathy's family is? But you know, this is my favorite part. She got smarter and smarter, and one day she got grown up. She got grown up. And she was a pretty woman. Actually, no, I misspelled this. And she was a pretty woman. Women. Okay, yeah, this is really funny. Alright, you guys, thanks for watching my video. And I'll do some more of these at another time. If you've ever done any early writings like this, leave a comment below. Tell me what kind of stories that you wrote as a kid. Alright, you guys, I'll see you later. Bye!